Trying to get a quick thing for this. Oh, dang. Okay. This should be a good little update here. Let me just check things on the other end. Oh, shoot. Yeah, I'm not on a, what's it called? I'm not on Roblox. Edit stream info. This game. There we go. I also need to edit the tags as well. This. What is the other one I'm going to? I low-key do not even know. We go to channels, I think. That'll show the other one. Surely it's just. Yeah, I figured as much. It'd be both YT and this. Alright, so for YT, what am I doing for YT? What am I doing for YT? Surely it's just. Oh. Create a freaking paradox with me being. Edit video. Well. That's the thing, because it's like. Let me see. These. Boom. Save. There we go. Now we're gonna close this. That Loki should be good at least for that. Yeah, and then I guess I'll just have one of them open up for chats. For chats. So we can see. Alright. Now, secondly, I'm probably gonna have to go down 60, artsy off. Delaying, we're gonna go quality. Actually, lens distortion makes the game look worse. This should be good, honestly. Defeat Victor within the time limit. Use glowing doors to advance to different areas. Enemies become tougher the further you go. Okay. Utilize special abilities with random weapons. Death is permanent. So find the best route. Detailed rules can be found in tutorials via pause menu. Ready to die. Tab special content. Oh! See, now this is interesting. I could have a... What in the world? I mean, I already had some combat points. I could get a med injector. The Hell Blaze, that's cool. Let's just go right into it. Oh, wow. Oh, main street we're loading into. You know, I always thought this was a cool idea. This is kind of like the John Wick Chapter 3 music, really. Wait. Hold up. Why am I in first person? Why am I in first person?
Get Brentwood locked down.
What? Is it something to do with Victor?
Yeah. He's the one to thank for all the excitement.
So many enemies! Let me go! So much going on. My game feels very weird. Very clunky. Oh.
Fuck. Let's make this quick.
Let's make this quick.
And let him do it.
Move! Move! What is this? Each time you defeat an enemy, there's a 100% chance to the remaining time will be extended by 3 seconds. Fully restores durability every hatchet. Increases damage taken by close combat. Increases damage taken by... Oh, okay. I get it now. Care center. Wait a minute. 1 to level 5? I don't know if I'm that good yet. Wait a second. I don't know. So what I might have to do is I might have to, from here, go here, here, then here. Or here. Yeah, I can't go anywhere. Gear setter. Where do I go? Get out of here! Get out of here! I only have 12 minutes.
His office should be upstairs.
Yeah, I know his office should be upstairs. Get out of here! There we go. The enemies in here. Oh, that's right, because I'm Leon, I can just do this. Okay, I need to get out of here. His office should be upstairs. But I got things to do. Nice, Matilda. I lucky don't know if I have the supplies to be using this willy-nilly. Okay, I guess I kind of do now. Whoa! Twisty son of a gun. Okay, I need to go. This one. This one. gonna go through here, cut around. Through here. Then through here, and then I can go upstairs through this way. Ah! Gosh darn it. Get off of me! Stop it! I got Requiem? Oh yeah. Man, this game's easy. Oh nah!
Elephants?
Okay, I need to actually use this. Oof!
Son of a...
Get off of me! What the flip? Oh, I can't just... Wait. I can't just sharpen it? There we go. There we go. I get 3 upgrades real quick. Yep. Oh, I didn't know you could shuffle. Oh, okay. Nah, this is actually crazy. Get away from me! Get away from me! Get away! Get away from me! Get out of here! Oh! Get out of here! Oh, heck nah. You know what?
Here.
Here's some of that. Pussy son of a gun. I don't like how it's giving me aimbot. I don't like that. There we go. Okay. Increase attack power against enemies within. It's time to get up close and personal. I don't really like any of these. Oh, no, time to get up and personal. I'm fine with time to up and get.
Every single time.
Ah! Open the door! Open the door! I'm fine with that. If you think about it, it's a good investment.
Well, that's my cardio for the week.
Well, that's my cardio for the week. This is Raccoon City. There's a lot. Alrighty. What's my cardio for the week? Some might say that's actually my cardio for the entirety of the week. I think I spent too long in there. It was like 4 minutes, 5 minutes. I mean, technically it was a lot longer, but I think the kills gave me extra time, so. Let me see. Okay. First of all, let's not get that yet. Okay. Let's grab this. I still haven't yet to get a shotgun. So that's a bit annoying. Can I go up here? No, I can't. Okay. Well, it's good to know. It's good to know. I wouldn't have known that prior. Go through here, huh? But actually, what's in here? Normally, there's not much besides like a couple of things. Yeah, there are hand grenades worth. And a small gunpowder. Yeah, not much. Now, this can be a little tricky. Whoa! Ah! Okay, so I need to equip. Get off of me! Get off of me! Get over me! Oh my gosh! Get off of me! It's my cardio for the week. Oh my goodness. Might be my cardio for the week. Get off of me! Get out of here! Get me out of here! Get out of here! Leon, run! Leon, you don't got enough supplies for this! Actually, wait, I might have the supplies for this if I throw a grenade. Wait a minute. It's a good idea. Yeah, get off of me. What the flip? Okay, now we throw a grenade. Now this may be a waste of a grenade, but I'm testing something. Yes! I'm glad I did. It was a very good test. Each out of sort. Okay, now I do Z. R to shuffle. Ooh, med injector fully restores health. That would be good. I don't know. I think that would be the best. Okay, I gotta go though. This is a little much for me. Finally the shotgun. Oh my gosh. Oh, but it's this one? Oh, that one's not great. Okay. This is what we gotta do. We have to remove this from the shortcut registry. Whoa. We'll shortcut this to be 3. We'll shortcut... This to be 2. So, yeah, this works for me. There we go. That worked for me. Streamlined. Performing a successful parry restores 40% of maximum durability of your equipped. Oh. Because the thing is, this is and close attack. So I'm guessing this is close attack? Never mind. I don't know. I mean, I feel like this would be good. Victor? Do I want to go straight to Victor? Do I even have... I don't really have the ammo, but we're gonna do it. If I fail, I fail. That's alright. Because I realistically don't know where I would have gone to even fight the commander. And then Victor, like... Oh, I'm just here. Okay. What the flip? What the flip? He's just here. Okay, great.
How many more will have to die for that vision?
Oh, hello. And shut up, Victor.
Sacrifices must be made.
Okay, I'm lucky getting cooked here.
I swore that I'd always protect those
Oh
lives.
my gosh, he has so much health. Are enemies dropping? Oh, okay, okay. I thought I saw other enemies. Okay, so here's the thing. We're gonna have to pull out the shot, eh?
Open your eyes. Humanity is full of cruel imbeciles. They need me, a leader to guide them into a glorious new.
This is so annoying. Why do I feel so slow and sluggish?
New future.
The humanity I know is far more capable than you realize. They don't want your leadership.
If they don't want your leadership, Victor. No, Victor! Leave me alone!
Even if I die, my master's vision will live on.
Will it?
And I'll make sure that fucked up vision dies with you.
I feel like his arm is the... That's right. This BS. I don't remember if you're supposed to shoot him while he's doing this. Oh, I don't remember this.
My master's future.
No!
Seems you're reaching your limit.
No! Huh? Yes! Get this stupid thing out of... Well... Alligator snapper, you can get out. No, you can go back in here. Well, let's see. Do I really need any sniper? I don't really need you either. Oh my gosh, I messed things up. Auto sort. Yeah. Oh, I deleted it. I'm such an imbecile.
I will not let those ideals win. Give it up.
Oh no!
Ah! Victor, no! I'm a good guy, I promise! No, Victor! No!
I died. Oh man. All the way back to Main Street. Dang. Victor's cooking me. I don't know what to do. Might have to low-key put some tunes on.
Get Brentwood locked down.
What? Is it something to do with Victor?
Yeah. He's the one to thank for all the excitement.
Okay. Sniper off the bat. Interesting.
Let's make this quick.
No! No! Get over me, lady! Step back, you don't know me like that.
Can't let him get away.
You'll never get away, Victor. Get off of me. Come on. Reload. 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 Oh boy. Oh crud. Come on. Come on. No. Get off of me. Come on. Yes. Barely survived. Wait, there's 2 other sections I could have went to, and I went straight to the level 9. Great. To the highest one. Oh my lord. Well, how was I supposed to know this was the stupid East Raccoon City streets? I'm here? Well, could be worse. Um... There's a lot going on here. Well, before I go over there, let's go up here now. I knew he was there too. I thought bro wouldn't wake up. At least I had hope he wouldn't. Okay. Now.
Gotta fill this up.
You're telling me I have to go over there, grab the fuel, then come back over here, like actually? Oh, heck nah.
You must be the town lumberjack.
I shot the man. Why the heck is the town lumberjack killing me? Okay. First of all, this aim assist BS is annoying me. It's incredibly hard to play for literally no reason. I just wanna be part of your symphony. Let's first go and try to fix that. Movement type, run, toggle, aim assist, off. Also, I don't know if it's because aim assist was on, but low key. Everything felt a lot slower.
Get Brentwood locked down.
Is it something to do with Victor?
Yeah. He's the one to thank for all the excitement.
Yeah. I'm thinking I'm back. The Matilda again? I don't know what to think about getting the Matilda all this time.
Shit.
Oh, crud.
Oh, fuck. Let's make this quick.
Yep. I'm a genius. Don't ask how I was able to perfectly plan that. Ooh. Okay, I gotta go here. I just have to go this way. Okay, yeah, this is what it would... Ooh. Oh. What happened? Next area. Huh? Wait. So if I just kept walking, it just sends me to the care center? Alright, well, I guess I can't complain. I guess I know how to do that now. Although, admittedly, I don't know how to do anything else here. Come on, open. Oh, that means I must have fought Chunk then, huh? No, this is before Chunk? Huh. That's interesting. Or Chunkalina or whatever his name is, I don't know. Get him! Get him! Get him! I think because I'm doing enough. Oh! 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 Oh gosh. Oh gosh, yep. I don't have the power to deal with y'all right now. Alright. So this is literally worse than this? Ooh. But it does have ammo in it, so I will equip it. Okay. You know what? I'll take whatever that is because that looks good. Okay.
Son of a...
Oh gosh. Okay. Here's the situation. Not looking great, not looking great. I have 4 bullets to my name. Great. Okay, at least I can go out here.